What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. How is everyone doing? I hope everybody had a great Monday. My Monday wasn't too bad. I went to the gym early in the morning. I hate the fact that even like on the days that I'm off, I still end up waking up hella early. Like I never just sleep in. But whatever. I had to move the car anyway, so I just made the best of it. Got ready, went to the gym, did a good 2 hours. I'm always in the gym for like an hour and a half to 2 hours. Don't even realize it until like my body says, okay, enough. But I did that, went to the gym, did laundry, and just chilled out. Spent some time with God, read the Bible, watched a sermon here and there on YouTube. And yeah, it was a peaceful Monday. I didn't do much of nothing. But it was still a good one. I hope everybody had a good day today, whether you just went to work, whether it was your day off, whether you're coming back home from vacation, whether you're getting ready for vacation, whether you had to run around with the kids all day, whatever the case may have been. I hope you had a good Monday. Tonight, I am drinking water. I am not drinking anything alcoholic. Like I said alcoholic. Anything with alcohol. I guess you could say that, right? Not alcoholic, but I'm not drinking anything like that. No wine or anything. Because like I said, I'm on this like new journey to like healthier foods, healthier drinking. I always drink water, but I kind of like upped my intake in water more than anything else. So that's what I'm drinking tonight. And just because, like, again, I want to make sure everybody knows, just because it says drinks after work does not mean you have to have something with alcohol in it. You don't have to. It can literally be, I feel like it's depending on how your day was. However your Monday was is what you're going to drink. However you're feeling is what you're going to drink. If you had a very busy day and you just need to sit down and take a shot of Douce, a shot of Henny, a shot of Casamigos, whatever, because that's the type of day you had, then so be it. Go ahead, enjoy yourself. But if you had like a chill day, you might do a wine, or you may do a energy, I don't know, maybe not an energy drink because you're trying to like wind down, but you get what I'm saying. It's not a specific type of drink you have to have. But I hope everybody still had a good Monday, and I hope everyone had a good weekend too. These weekends are going by so quickly. The first weekend of February is over with. That's crazy. I mean, normally the winter time goes by slow anyway, but I feel like it's shooting by so fast. But, regular life stuff. So the third choice from the topics that I had actually put together and that I had as a poll on my Instagram and I didn't have the podcast Instagram up yet, but it was on my personal Instagram where I had asked which topics you guys want to talk about. It is the 3-month rule. What happens after the honeymoon stage? And it's not to say that everyone has the same exact time frame. I feel like for me, it's always been 3 months, and then these men start showing their ass, and then like I really start to decide if I really want to deal with them or not. Although I wear glasses and I wear contacts, so sometimes it could be a little blurry. It may take me a while to see things clearly and to see them exactly how they are. Just bear with me. But I feel like in my dating time, that I have noticed that after 3 months, everyone starts to switch up. And it's not even like subtle switching. It's like an aggressive 360 change. And I'm just like, okay, who are you? Because this is not who I have been dating. This is not the person who has told me all of these great things about what they see us doing. And like who are you? Like, who's this person? So for me personally, like I said, it could be, for you it could be 4 months, for you, for somebody else it could be 6, for somebody else it could be a year, but for me 3 months, that's what I normally give a man to show me their true colors. I always had this feeling, like I said, in my dating life, after 3 months, things would just go completely different. 3 months for me to see if this person would be here for a lifetime or just for a season. Safe to say that the men that I was in a relationship with, or actually even talking to, they were all lessons. I mean, and that's great, because we all need those people in our life to show us a lesson and to teach us something, not only about them, but also about who we are and what we allow, right? And it was hard. It was difficult seeing that transpire for myself, really feeling like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm being laid back, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. Why do I then get the shit end of the stick of things? And it wasn't actually until the year before last, so 2022, when I had to really have a sit down with not only myself, but even just talking to God, was just like, okay, what do I need to do to get the man, or manifest the man who I really want in my life? What do I need to alter? What do I need to change? And I swear to you, it hits everybody differently, but for me, it was like God telling me, I need you to stop. I need you to stop choosing people and let me be the one to bring someone to you. And you would, you least expect it. And even if I had my little foot in the door to see, like, trying to control it, but also not, I still allowed God to show me who needed to be here and who didn't. And that's what I just said, okay, God, you do your thing, because I'm messing it up, or I'm just picking the wrong ones, or I have these blinders on and I can't see the red flags. I'm looking at these flags like they're pink and they're not, they're red. And, you just help me out. But this wasn't even just guys who I was in a relationship with. Like, this was even guys who I dated. And for those of you who are having a hard time differentiating, I said that word right, correct? Right, I think I did. Between the two, dating is dating, in a relationship is in a relationship. Because I feel like today the words are like mixed in together, and they both mean two different things. Like, when you're getting to know someone, seeing if the vibe is right before making it official, or as like today's kids call it, doing us, or just vibing, seeing if we have a connection, that's dating. That's you dating someone. That's you getting to see who this person is and deciding, like I said, whether or not you really want something from them more than what they're giving you now. Like, you want to go deeper into it, or are you content with where you guys are at right now? A relationship is two people coming together, right? Like, kind of short of a marriage almost, and being a couple and making it so that you both are, I guess, if that's what you want to say, faithful to each other, or if you want to say abiding by your own rules, because everybody has their own rules for their relationship. What I may think is okay in a relationship, somebody else may not think, vice versa. But just being together, and it's you two, and you guys have like this understanding, right? So that's the difference. In my dating life, I noticed this, and then even in relationships, I noticed that 3 months into the dating or relationship, it usually started to fade. Like, they got comfortable, or they just, like, I don't even know. Like, maybe they got scared. Like, damn, she really is cool. Like, she really is this and that. She really does give me this. She gives me that. I don't know if I'm right for her. Or they could feel like, all right, shit, I'm bored. Because I won't sit here and say that men don't think that as well. I mean, I don't think I'm boring. Shit, I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't think I'm boring. I think I'm like your homie and your best friend and your lover all in the same person. You get what I'm saying? So that's how I see myself. But that can honestly be a thing for most people, that after the 3 months or after getting to know somebody, they then feel like they don't have to do much. Like they don't have to continue to date their partner, which I feel like is a problem in today's dating world. So boom, let's just jump right into it, right? So the 3 month, and again, it doesn't have to be 3 months. It could be however long for you, and you'll notice it. Like if you really think back and have like just a sit down with yourself to see how long it took a guy or a girl to just change up on you, or you start to really see their true colors, you'll see like it's around this specific type of timing. Again, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a whole year, whatever, you'll see it for yourself. But in the honeymoon stage, right? So how do you know you're in the honeymoon stage? You and your partner are putting your best foot forward, right? You're going to nice restaurants, movie dates, arcade dates, plays, sporting events, cooking classes, paint and sips. I don't even know if anybody does that anymore. That used to be like a really big thing. Everybody used to go to paint and sip, but it was called what was it called too? It was called like Henny and Sip, something like that. It was something like that too. But you'll do things like that. You'll go bowling, anything that interests one or both of you, right? You show them why they should stick around, because that's basically what you're doing. You're showing them that, like, hey, you should, I guess some people call it pick me, but I don't really call it a pick me. But you're showing them like why they should take interest in you, what they will get out of being with you, and who they are as, like, who you are really as an individual. So everything just seems light. Like everything just seems easy. Everything just seems like you're going with the flow. There's no arguing. You're always like laughing. There's always butterflies. You always can't wait to see them. You're probably going on dates 2-3 times a week. Like it's always, you just feel happy. Like there's just this feeling of happiness, and just like I said, butterflies, like just this calm feeling also too, where like you always want to be around them. That is how you know you're in the deep of the honeymoon phase, right? But what are some other things that even happen during the honeymoon stage or the honeymoon phase? So for one, right, besides the whole putting your best foot forward thing, I feel like another thing that always happens is they don't take you serious yet. Like I feel like it takes them a minute to say, okay, like, I'll start dating this person, because they're probably dating multiple people, which is nothing wrong with that. When you're in the dating phase, especially the beginning dating phase, you making sure that this is the person who you want to be with, so you're dating other people. So there's nothing wrong with that, but you also have to understand that that's a possibility, that's what's gonna happen. Like I don't understand why people do get upset about things like that. Like in the beginning of your dating time, what are you upset about that I'm dating someone else or dating a few other people besides you? Why are you mad? I just met you. We haven't even gone on a date, or maybe maybe it was 1 or 2 dates. I'm not going to stop dating just because you took me out on 1 or 2 dates. I'm going to keep dating, and obviously above everything else, let them know that you're dating other people. Don't tell them that you're not, and then you end up still speaking to other women or other men. Say it with your chest. If that's what you're doing, then that's what you're doing. It's nothing wrong with it. Again, that's the whole point of dating. You are trying to figure out who you want to take and spend your time with. So that's fine. I feel like, and like I said, that's why I feel like you have to understand that in the beginning, they're not going to take you completely serious. And I feel like some people will probably argue and say, well, then what are we talking for? If you're going to talk to multiple people, then why are we even having the conversation? I told you I want somebody who's just about me. And that's not to say that they won't make it just about you. They will. If you give them that feeling of, I want this person, or like, I don't want to talk to anybody else. I just want to talk to this one person because I feel like not complete, but I just have more in common with them, or I just feel like our conversations are deeper, and she or he gives me this and they give me that outside of the whole sex thing. Like, that will then make somebody cut everybody else off. Like, okay, you know what? Like, I don't even want to talk to y'all because y'all are cool, but y'all are real surface level, and I need somebody that's deeper. That's fine. That's okay. And I feel like more people need to understand that, but also make your intentions clear. Like I said, like, yeah, they're going to be dating other people, like I said, which is fine. You should also be dating other people until you find someone who's going to check off all the boxes. But make your intentions clear of what it is you want. If all you want to do is just fuck around and that's it, you're not looking for nothing serious, say that. Let's leave the headache, the drama, the next episode of the first 48. Let's leave it behind, shall we? Let's be real about what it is we actually want. And that way, there's no confusion, there's no heartbreak, there's no misleading, there's no gaslighting. Just say exactly what you're looking for. And in saying that, also say, listen, you are one of maybe two, or you don't even have to give them a number, I don't think. Fuck it, you don't have to give them a number. You could say that I'm dating around, and I'm trying to see who is going to fit the bill of what I am looking for. So that normally happens during the honeymoon stage too, because you're, like I said, the person and you are trying to figure out this is somebody who you want to be with. And it doesn't really last 3 months. I feel like that probably lasts the first month or so, because after a few weeks, or after, especially if you guys have like lined up dates, that kind of lasts only about like a month, if that, a few weeks. And then the person's like, okay, cool, I'm giving you all of my attention, or majority of my attention that I'm giving anybody else. And then probably like right after the first month or so, they start cutting people off. And that's what I've normally done. Like, I've dated other guys, and then once I feel like, okay, this is the person who, and obviously I was wrong, but if I started feeling like, okay, this is the person who I want to spend my time with, or who I want to give my time with, then I start cutting everybody else off. I just don't say nothing to them at all. Some of them just, I guess, kind of get the point, and we just don't talk as much. Some have asked, and I would tell them like what they have not done for me, and what I was looking for, and they took it with, they were respectful, and they took it as like good advice for themselves, because they've probably heard other women say that, which a guy has said that to me too. Like, why did I stop communicating with him? Why did I stop talking to him? Or what could he have done differently? And I felt that was really, really mature of him. And I guess like self-aware, being more self-aware about what it is you're lacking, that other women have said, that maybe you haven't asked this question to them, but you've decided to ask me, what is it that you need to work on? And I told him, like, you don't say much, and you want us to go on trips, and you want us to do couple things, but it's like, but we don't talk. So you want me to get on a flight with you, but we don't speak. And for some girls, that's okay. Like, she'll, there is a woman out there that will get on that flight and will not care if y'all speak or not. I'm not like that. I'm not going to get on the flight, be in the same hotel room as you, and we have nothing to speak about. But it was great that he liked to travel. Like, he's traveled a lot. But we have nothing to talk about. So that's one thing that was just like a turnoff. But like I said, so this is actually number 2. From me saying that putting your best foot forward happens during the honeymoon stage. So, number 3 in the first part of during the honeymoon stage and what I said, honeymoon stage? Honeymoon stage and what normally happens. Number 3 for me was finding some truths out about them. So, yeah, people are going to put their best foot forward, of course. But I feel like if the conversations are deep, and this kind of happens towards the end of the 3 months, you start to see things about them, or they start to confess things about them that they either need to work on, or their past trauma, what they like and what they don't like, which kind of happens also in the beginning of relationships as far as like what they like and what they don't like. But you start to find things out about them, the truth about them, the realness about who they are and how they got to the point in their life, whether it be career wise, whether it be with self, whether it be like whatever it may actually be. They start to become a little bit more vulnerable, I guess you could say too. And you then get to decide whether or not this is somebody who you want to spend your time with, because let's be for real. There are some truths about some people that you're just like, ooh, that has happened. Or you really like that? Oh no, I don't think I could deal with that. And if you can't deal with someone like saying to you, like, listen, I'm not, like, let's say like if you're a party goer, like if you're a person that likes to go to the parties and you like to be outside every weekend, and they tell you about past issues that they've had with their spouses or their partners going out every weekend, and it made them feel like this and it made them feel like that, or why can't you just stay home? You may interpret it as, okay, you're what's the word I'm trying to find? You're insecure. You don't like me going out. It made you feel like, what is me going out making you feel anything? You know, that's how somebody could possibly process it. Whereas to them, it's just like, no, you going out is just making me feel like you're not taking us serious. Like, how can you be spending all this money going out every weekend, popping bottles, doing this, doing that, having to buy a whole new outfit, yada, 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 but then talk about how you want to start a family, you want to do this, you want, like, how does that make sense? And again, this could be how somebody interprets it, but that could be the truth of someone who doesn't want their partner to be outside every weekend. And that to you may be a turnoff, like, but I like to go outside. I like to enjoy myself. And yes, I'm going to go to a party almost every other Saturday or almost every Saturday. And if that's a deal breaker for you, which is, I mean, at this age, I don't know. I like my house. I like staying in my house. I'm not going to hold you. I'll go out maybe once, twice a month, if that. But I like to be in my house. But again, finding some truths out about them, even about how they interact with people. You probably get to see like how they are when you're on a date with them. So perfect example for me, right? I was dating this guy, literally like our first date. It was around like May or so of last year. And he had suggested a restaurant for us to go to, for us to meet up at in the city. And I said, okay, cool, no problem. Again, it was our first date. We had talked here and there on and off, like some days. It wasn't every day, but it was like every other day we would talk. And we went to the spot in the city. I think it was like a Chinese restaurant or so. And he's waiting outside for me. I parked my car and we meet up. No problem. Hugs. Cool. We go inside. The guy says, oh, give us, 10 minutes or so. Give us a few minutes. They were clearing out another table that had just left. Went from the door to the bar, which was probably about, I want to say 10 feet from the door. Sat down and instantly his leg starts shaking. Now, I know for some people, like, the leg shake thing is just like a thing that you just do, right? Like just like somebody who bites their nails. But then there's also something that could be behind it, like, okay, you're nervous, or you're timid, or like just something like your nerves are just going out of whack, so you just end up doing the leg shake, biting your nails, rubbing your hands together, whatever. So my first thought was that, okay, he's nervous because it's our first time again going on a date. No, my man's was shaking his leg because he was mad that the guy said give him about a few minutes, 10 minutes to like a few minutes or whatever. They're clearing out the table. I asked him, like, are you all right? He was like, no. I said, what's wrong? He was like, we gotta wait. I said, yeah, he only said 10 minutes. It's not that big of a deal. Like, we just got here. It's okay. I can understand if we walked in, we've been sitting here and nobody has said anything to us. But he said it. Give him a few minutes. Give him about 10 minutes or so. My guy got up, sat down, got up, walked around, sat down again, was doing the jigging of the leg thing. I instantly was over the date. I was ready to go. Because I'm like, why are you so like frantic? Like, calm down. And on top of that, if this is a thing that you don't like waiting, which is not okay. Being impatient is not okay as a grown person, both man and female. You have to have patience. But if that's something that you really don't like, why would you then suggest a restaurant that just takes walk-ins, that doesn't take reservations? Shouldn't you have picked a restaurant that takes reservations since you don't want to wait? I'm just making it make sense in my head. So, nonetheless, we end the date, and he goes his way. I get in my car, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good. Because again, this is me finding out some truths about who this person was. And then on top of the conversations that we were having, I don't remember every single conversation that we've had, even at that table, but it was just like, it was blah. And I was just like, okay, I'm turned off. I don't even care anymore. I'm just going to be here. I'm fine to have a conversation with him. I'm fine to be here in this space with him. I'm not going to show him that I'm bored. I'm not going to show him any of that. But this is as far as it's going to go. And then the last part about how you know you're in the honeymoon stage. It's just like I said, when it comes to the second one, I said, like, they don't take you serious yet. But the fourth part is cutting off the others, people who you were dating before you met this person. That happens. That's going to happen in the beginning stages of you guys dating each other. Now, see how I said dating, not in a relationship. If you're in a relationship with someone, all these people should just have already been cut off since the dating time expired. Once you've asked this person to be your girlfriend or to be your boyfriend or whomever, this is when, like, you shouldn't have other people on your roster when you decided to be in a relationship. Like, I don't get where that concept started, or where people started thinking that you can have people on your roster when you decide to be in a relationship. But no ma'am, no sir, that should not be a thing. People are getting cut off when you're in the dating phase. And again, I mean, my mother has told me this before, and I've never listened up until I started, after my last relationship ended and I was dating a few guys. She would always say, like, listen, date them all until one of them checks all the boxes. And if they don't, okay, goodbye. It was nice meeting you. And it's okay, like I said, for that to be the case when you're in the dating part of your life. And probably, like I said, it will probably happen within the first month and a half or so. And then you start slowly letting people go, because you're like, okay, this one person is piquing my interest. This one person is giving me everything that I want. They're checking the boxes, and I have nothing to worry about. So why am I giving my time to other people who I am cool with, but I really don't see nothing really blossoming out of it? So that for me are the four ways that you know that you're in the honeymoon stage. On top of, like I said, the butterflies, constantly wanting to be around each other, constantly liking each other, the sweet messages and everything like that. That's all a part of the honeymoon happy butterfly moment. But then to get to the second part of it, what happens after the honeymoon stage? And why is it that everything tends to go downhill after the butterfly moments, after the I miss yous, I can't wait to see you, the whole initiating date thing? Like, why is it that everything starts to go downhill once the comfortability or the I don't know like how to say it, but why does everything just disappear after the 3 months, or after, like I said, your honeymoon stage is up? So for me, one, what happens after the honeymoon stage is like, well, who are you? And I mentioned that. Like, who is this person? I don't know who you are. You're acting weird. You're acting strange. Why are you, like, what's going on? And then it starts to make you think that, like, is it something that you're doing wrong? Because you start reevaluating yourself. You start thinking about, like, did I say something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Did I not do nothing at all? Am I not doing enough? And it makes you reevaluate how and what you're contributing to the relationship. Number 2 is, are these the red flags I kept ignoring? So I feel like even in, like, so in the honeymoon, like I said, in the honeymoon stage, in the 3-month period, God has always shown me, and this is me doing a lot of self-reflecting that I've been doing the past few months. God has constantly showed me in the times that I've dated, in my dating era, or my dating times, right, that these flags were red the entire time, and I just kept ignoring it. Like, I just saw this person just on the outside, and I saw from the things that, the surface level things of what this person was doing for me, and the whole sweet words and the nice little gestures that they may have done at that moment. But the red flags were there. Like, they're always there in the beginning. We just sometimes choose not to look at them because we're so wrapped up in who they are, how they look physically, the things that they say, which can be just sweet nothings. And then for yourself, wanting to find happiness, wanting to find love, wanting to find a husband or a wife, or wanting that forever, that you blind yourself from what's actually in front of you, which then causes the drama that happens within the relationship. So that's the one thing that I definitely noticed too, like, to not ignore the red flags that God is always putting in the front of us, that we just keep ignoring because we want to see the good in this person. Which then leads into my third point, where I said, does it really take 3 months to see someone's true colors? Or are our heads stuck in the clouds we can't see from the beginning? And again, when the red flag is there, we're choosing to ignore it. We're choosing not to look at it. We're just seeing, like, okay, well, yeah, he has this little problem, or yeah, she has this little issue, or yeah, okay, she yells or she curses, or she's a little loud with how she talks. Okay, he gets a little angry a little bit too much, or oh, that's just spicy, and that's just oh, I like that, that's a little sexy, or whatever the case is. Like, you try to downplay the things that you really are seeing that's going to be a problem, but you're just looking at it as like, oh, it's cute. Oh, that's nothing. It's not that big of a deal until it becomes a big deal. Now like not 6 to 9 months down the line, now you guys are arguing over the same thing that you've seen him or her doing, but you never addressed it then. But now all of a sudden you want to address it because now it pisses you off. So it's like, again, does it really take 3 months? I don't think so. Now that I've actually have been able to like sit back and reevaluate, like I said, everything, that it probably only takes the first date or like the first interaction with them for you to see like, okay, maybe this is not it. And sometimes it might take 3 months. Sometimes it may take longer than that, because it's like people know what they're doing. Some people just are very good at hiding it as well. So they may not show it right now, but they'll eventually show it, because they're just like, you know what? You can't hide it. You can't hide who you really are as much as you want to, as much as you try to. So it may not take the beginning, the honeymoon, to see it. It may just pop up right then and there. Point 4, comfortability sets in. I've mentioned that we all tend to be comfortable with the person who we like, and then we forget to date them. And I feel like you should never forget to date your partner. You should always remember like how you got them. How you got them is how you keep them. If you don't want to lose them, do what you did in the beginning. And that just prevents that comfortability to set in. Like, of course you want to be comfortable with them. You want to be vulnerable with them. You want to be able to talk to them about anything. You want to be able to do whatever it is you want to do around them. But to the point where it's boring, or to the point where it's like you feel like, okay, I know everything about this person, so now what? Like I said, and that's also being boring. But that's how you know the honeymoon stage has come to an end, because now you're feeling more at ease. But even with, like I said, feeling at ease and feeling like you can do and be and say anything around this person doesn't necessarily mean that you stop doing the same things that caught or made them catch your attention, or vice versa. Which also goes into my 5th point. You stop dating your partner. Like I said, never stop dating your partner. I get it. Times are hard. Things are expensive. You probably always can't go out to the restaurants all the time. Which, again, if anyone has any common sense or anyone is reasonable, they will understand that. And if their head is not in the Instagram clouds, they will understand that life be lifing, and every weekend cannot be an outing outside. Sometimes you got to play the house, and you have to order some food in or cook and stay in the house and watch a movie. There's nothing wrong with that either. Or doing something for free. But regardless, never stop dating your partner. Whether it be, like I said, taking them to the dinner or taking them on any type of specific date. Just the simple thing of planning something so sweet and so kind to keep them attracted to you and to keep their attention on you is something that you should not take lightly, but also remember, like, you want to keep this person interested in you. You don't want to just say, well, hell, I got her already. Hell, I got him already. I don't got to do this. I don't have to do that no more. You want to keep showing them why they should continue to choose you. And again, just understanding also what it is that they like. And it doesn't have to break the bank. It doesn't have to be something that's $1,500, $2,000. It can literally be the smallest things. If you really hear them, if you really get to know who your person is, it can be anything to make them feel like, oh, this was cute. Or this was something different. Or I never had this happen to me before. And I'm telling y'all, Groupon is like one of the best things that they have ever came out with. You can find so many date deals on Groupon, and they never gotta know. They don't even have to know you went on Groupon to get this 3-course meal for $70. When if you went to the restaurant and got the same thing, that sucker would have been like $300. Like, you never know what you can find when you be looking at these things on Groupon or on any of these like deal saver apps or or websites. Like, you never know what you can find if you just like take the time to understand your partner, understand what they like, and continue to date them. So another interpretation that I actually read up on was this 3-6-9 month rule. And I was like, what? Like, huh? And this is why I also said that sometimes it may not be 3 months for everybody. It could just be 3 months for me, and for somebody else it could be 6. For somebody else it could be 9. Somebody else it could be a year. But either way, I found that this 3-6-9 month rule method, I guess, is that the first 3 months you are getting to know each other. The next 3 months, so that the 6-month mark, the connection becomes deeper to build, and the last 3 months allows you to decide if this relationship is going anywhere. But let's be real for a second. After I read this, I was like, oh, okay, hold on. We're talking about 2024 in this piss of a dating pool that is going on, right? Dating nowadays, you could see someone for who they are way before 6 months. I mean, that's just how I see it. I personally feel like it doesn't take that long. And I feel like you're trying to compensate for something, or trying to really like find something out about this person that's not bad, even though they have shown you nothing but shit, and yet you still want them to stick around, or you want to stick around. Baby, let it go. Just let it go. If they're showing you the things that you don't like already in month 3, let it go. Just call it. But it was interesting to read that, like, how, I guess, in certain perspectives, I guess you can say that 3 months you are still getting to know each other, and then by 6 months the conversations are deeper. But I feel like for me, the conversations get deeper close towards the end of the 3 months. It doesn't take 6 months for me to get into deeper conversations, because it's just like, okay, we've already touched the surface things. There are things that we know. Okay, your favorite color, what do you like to read, what do you like to eat, what do you don't like, what do you do on the weekends, yada yada yada, the same thing. And then after that, okay, so now let's dig deeper. So why are you single? Like, I don't know, like something like that. Like you start to think, and like I said, the conversations become deeper because you want to know who this person is ultimately. And then 9 months, I don't know if 9 months, by the 9th month, you know whether or not this is going anywhere. I feel like you know that before 9 months. I feel like you know, well, shit, I feel like you know at 6 months if this is going anywhere. Like, you know that if this is something that you want to pursue, because you start to see the qualities of someone who you either want to get married to, or if you don't believe in marriage, someone who you want to spend the rest of your life with. Because that's, the end goal. I mean, for majority of us in our 30s, that's the end goal. We want marriage or long-lasting relationships if you don't believe in marriage. But I feel like at this point, 6 months, after 6 months, I kind of know. Like, all right, this ain't gonna go nowhere. Or I feel like maybe sometimes even earlier than that. Like, have you ever talked to a guy or a girl, and you could just base it off of the first interaction, like the first conversation that y'all had, and you're just like, oh yeah, this ain't going nowhere. Like, you are just all you want to talk about is what this celebrity's doing, what this person is talking about. You want to just gossip all day. And I'm trying to talk to you about opening up a damn Roth a Roth IRA account. Like, come on, like we're on two different spectrums here. Like, what are we talking about here? But I don't know, it was interesting to see how some people actually do believe in that the 3-6-9 month rule. So towards the end of all of this, like reading up on it and just really like having a idea as I was putting this whole topic together, I started to think, like, can the honeymoon phase last the whole relationship? Like, can you go your entire relationship feeling like you're on cloud 9? Or is that like impossible to be in this butterfly, happy-go-lucky, I always want you around, comfortable, vulnerable space with your partner for the entire relationship? Or is that like, that's never going to happen? And I guess it depends on how you two see your relationship. Like, I guess it depends on like what you or how you view each other. Like, granted, of course, shit's gonna happen. Like, things are gonna hit the fan. You guys are gonna argue or have a disagreement. That goes without saying. Things are not always gonna be perfect. But that feeling of like every time you see them, like, you always want to just jump their bones and just like hug them and kiss them and everything. Is that something that can last a whole relationship? And then part of me also felt like, okay, well, if that's true, if that can actually happen, does that coincide with dating your partner all the time? Like, do you feel that way only when you're dating your partner? Like, even for people who have kids, like knowing that, okay, it's mommy and daddy time. You guys are going to be with grandma, grandpa, or the babysitter, and mommy and daddy are going out to enjoy ourselves, to bring back that spark or to bring back that feeling of like how you guys first looked at each other when y'all first met, type of thing. And I don't know, like I said, I think it depends on who you are. It depends on like how you both see each other. I mean, I would love for the whole relationship to just be honeymoon. But reality is that that's not always going to happen. Like I said, you're going to have up and downs. You're going to have sad moments. You're going to have happy moments. But I wonder if you can have more happy moments than you have sad moments. Can you have more, like I said, dating each other moments? Can you have more moments where you keep it interesting and you keep the spark going? I feel like you can. I feel like that can happen though. Like, I know a few couples who have been married for years, and one thing that they advise is, like I said, to never forget never forget to date your partner. Always keep it interesting, no matter what it is. Keep them interested in you. You want to keep yourself, you want them to be interested in you, and you want them to be interested back. Like, you don't want the thought or the idea of someone coming in the middle and ruining that. Not to say that will happen, but you know what I mean. Like, not allowing outside voices to affect your relationship. And hopefully that shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't allow other people to make your decision up or make up your mind about how you feel about someone. But I don't know. I feel like it can. I feel like the honeymoon stage or phase can last a whole relationship. It just won't happen at every given moment because, yes, again, life is gonna life. Things are gonna happen. You're gonna have kids. If you choose to get married, marriage, bills, kids acting up, your husband does something wrong, your wife does something wrong, you piss this one off, that's gonna happen. But I feel like still having that that feeling of like, this is how I met you, or this is what I did in the beginning of us dating. I feel like that can happen. The second thing I thought about was thinking that people break up after the honeymoon phase. Like, yeah, like I said, like, okay, the honeymoon phase is the beginning, like the dating part. But then even after the dating part is over and then you guys get into a relationship, and then the honeymoon phase is still there, but then once it starts to die out, people then just break up with each other because the spark is no longer there, or they're bored. It's like, do you need to find a hobby for yourself? Like, are you guys having deep conversations instead of being surface levels, like I've said? Like, and I really feel like our generation sucks with commitment and sticking things out. Like, we have so many options, and it just makes it so, what makes it harder is because it's right there in our hands, like our phone. You go on Instagram, you go on TikTok, you go on Facebook, you go on this app, that app, da 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 da. You have all these people right there with a picture, a profile, little commentary, and some videos, and boom, I'm attracted to you. And then makes you feel like you have all of these people that you could choose from, but it's just like, you really don't know someone until you really get to know them. Like, they may look cute and all, or they may have like a nice body, or they may have the nice cars, the money, da da da, all this stuff. But then wonder if they're batshit crazy, then what? You know what I mean? Wonder if they're like physically, like they're abusive. Wonder if they're financially abusive. Wonder if they have like trauma from their past that they have not gotten over, and they bring that into your relationship. Like, thinking of all of these things, because we have all of these options, to make people then feel like, okay, the honeymoon phase is over, so now I gotta go. Like, you're not interesting to me anymore. But how can you say that? You really didn't get to know the person. You were just so stuck on how they look, what they wear, the small things that are technically really small. Like, it's small. Like, things fade. Like, appearances and physical features, they fade. Things get wrinkly. Things start to drop. Things start to sag. It's like, granted, you don't want to be with someone who is like definitely not your type, but you definitely want to have someone who you're attracted to. But knowing that you'll still be attracted to this person when they're older. I don't want to give an age because I don't want nobody to feel away. But, like, you know, they're of a certain age, and then things are just not how, like, they don't look the same way how they looked at 30, how they look at 70. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to come out of that superficial mindset. But again, people breaking up right after the honeymoon phase, like, I feel like my generation, we're terrible at that. And then the generation behind us is no better either. They're ready to quick flip. Are we just doing us while they're doing them with somebody else? And don't get me started. Never mind. Then the last thing that I thought about was how people have to also know the difference between being in love and enjoying the honeymoon stage. Like, I feel like a lot of people sometimes drop the I love you bomb very quickly when you're just starting to get to know the person. Like, no, you love what they're doing for you, and not in a needy way, not in a, you know, that type of way, a superficial type of way, but you love the fact that they are who they say they are, and they're standing on business about you, or that they're taking you serious. So that's something that you may love, and you may love, you know, their actions, and that they're keeping you in your soft woman era, or that they're allowing you to be the man and the gentleman that you want to be, because you didn't get to do that in your last relationship. But knowing the difference between in love and just enjoying the honeymoon stage. And that's not to say that you can't start having feelings for someone. Yes, you can. You can start having deep feelings for anyone. And I'm not saying that, you know, my how I view it is right. Some people do this whole love at first sight thing. I don't see how, but okay. It's not for me to understand. But I do feel like sometimes that can get misconstrued in the conversations, or can get tangled in how people really feel, because they take love and then they take the butterflies and they're just like, okay, it has to be love. I have to be in love with you. And then when shit hits the fan, like I said, oh, well, now I don't love you. Well, shit, did you love me at all to begin with? Like, really knowing that you really got to know this person, that you really got to value this person and who they are, and what they brought to the table for you. And being able to say, you know what, like, I do really cherish who you are, and really feeling that, like, I love you. You get what I'm saying? Like, not necessarily saying I love you just because of what they're doing for you in the beginning, but because of what they're doing for you, that's making you then say to yourself, like, I could see myself loving this person, or I could see myself falling in love with this person because of what they're doing for me now. But we're just still going to hold on, and we're going to see, because, you know, people change up real quick. But that was basically the 3-month rule, or the 3-month stage. Is really just a 3-month stage. The honeymoon stage was really just getting to evaluate who this person is that you're actually talking to, and seeing how things can go from butterflies, happy, go lucky, XYZ to downhill in a heartbeat. And not knowing who this person is, and not realizing that, like, I may not like everything about them as much as I thought I did. And allowing yourself that time to enjoy the honeymoon stage, and knowing that it could possibly happen and last the entire relationship. But again, you're going to have up and downs, you're going to have hills, bumps, valleys. It's going to happen. But to know that after 3 months, for me, like I said, is when I really start to see the person for who they are. And had I had seen that in the beginning, when I saw the red flags, when I saw the bullshit, when I was just like, oh, that's what you really do? Because they all show it. Like I said, it's always like little hints. They show little hints in the beginning. And it's just like, okay, yeah, no, that's not going to work. And it may sound like, well, damn, you didn't even give me a shot. But if it's certain things, like I said, the impatient, being impatient, you have to have patience. If it's the loud talking or the rudeness that, you know, that turns you off. If it's the, you know, you guys may have had like a little disagreement, or like a little heated whatever, and they hang up the phone on you. Oh, that's what you do? You can't have a conversation. Okay, cool. Well, I guess we're never going to have another conversation again, since you want to hang up the phone. Like, certain things like that. Like, if there's baby mama drama, if there's baby father drama, if there is just little things like that, you know, you don't want to put up with, and not turning your cheek to it, and not putting a blind eye over it, but really evaluating it and being like, you know what, I don't know if this is something I want to deal with, and not waiting until the 3-month stage is over for you to then say, you know what, I don't want to deal with this. But everyone has their moments. Everyone has their own time limit. Everyone, like I said, it may not be 3 months. People may not show their ass in after 3 months. Some people will show in 6. Some people will show in 9. But it's like just knowing what you want to put up with and what you don't want to put up with, and knowing that that honeymoon stage will come to an end, but knowing that you do have the control over whether or not it can flourish into the relationship. Like, you can continue to have it come here and there in the relationship, or if you're just going to say, okay, I'm done, I'm bored, I don't want to deal with it no more. Like, we all have that choice, basically. But I love you guys for listening. Make sure you guys follow the Instagram drinks after work _podcast. Because I'm going to be putting up more polls about what topics you guys want to talk about, what topics you guys want me to go on live about and you guys interact with. I have more things in mind. I have more things coming up. I have a lot like in my head of what I want to do and how I see this going. But I'm just taking it one step at a time, letting God walk me through this. I always tell him, align my footsteps, show me where you want me to go, how you want me to go about this thing, because I want to make sure I'm doing it right. Of course, it's going to be bumps. Like I said, it's going to be like issues, and I'm going to have my moments, but still allowing God to order my footsteps when it comes to this podcast and the next things that I have to do. But again, make sure you guys follow the Instagram, also the TikTok as well. It's the same thing, drinks after work _podcast, and let me know what you guys want to talk about, what else you guys are interested in. I have some people that said like some really good things. Even on Facebook, they said some really good things. And that's under my Facebook is Michelle Nicole. And they've actually put a bunch of things like, oh, talk about this. Oh, I want to know what your opinion about that. So y'all keep doing that. I appreciate it. I love you guys for listening. I really do. You guys, the numbers be going up every episode. So I love it. And I thank you again. Make sure you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Get home safe if you're driving. If you're home already, I hope you guys are relaxing, chilling out, and know that tomorrow is tomorrow. Leave whatever happened today in today and go about tomorrow and the rest of the week with your head up. All right? Have a good one, guys. Later.